Alrighty guys, welcome back to this week's budget review. This is the week that I'm so excited to share with yins. We finally made it to the month of July. Pretty much finally caught up with all of these weekly reviews. I did get behind there for a while, but we're finally in the current month. So I get to share the new little program system thing that I've started in July. I don't think it was actually July 1st, maybe like the 2nd or the 3rd, but you know what, close enough. So let's get into this week's review here. So for those of you who are new, I did pick the Hemlock and Oak 2024 Daily Planner. Again, I absolutely love this planner. I love the company. They have extremely well-built and well-crafted planners. Come on, motorcycle people. Oh my god, there's a motorcycle parade. How do you know I'm filming? I don't know if you can hear them after I denoise this, but yeah, that was cool. I mean, it wasn't a lot. I mean, it wasn't like a ton of them. I mean, it was more than normal. It was like 20 of them. Okay, I think they're up the road now. This is the fourth time of me trying to record this, guys. I am not doing this again. So, cool. Yeah. So that's what I got to say about Hemlock and Oak. Oh my god, there's more. Okay, so I'm taking this as an omen as I'm not supposed to be filming today. Alrighty. Okay, so this is the year at a glance. Again, I'm trying to speed these up a little bit more. I feel like I ramble about them a little bit more and more each time I do one of these reviews. But simply put is I try to keep anything that's important to my budget in a yearly manner all on one page. Then that way, as I'm moving through the months, I can check and see if something's coming up. So for like the month of July, it's really easy for me to see that I'm still focusing on the Chase account. It's still not paid off. We had Independence Day on the 4th, and I got two paydays, which are the 5th and the 19th. So that's how I'm using this. Let's see here. Another way that I could use this is I can, like, it would be really easy. Now, granted, everybody knows Halloween's in October, but it pretty much lets you know that you got 1, 2, 3, possibly even if you count the month of October. So I would have 4 months to plan ahead or budget for that holiday. 5 more months till Thanksgiving. I can also see that my registration plates for my vehicle, those are due in December, and I have another insurance funds appearing in December as well. So that's kind of how I'm using this. It's like it kind of gives me a way to figure out how much time I got until something else comes up. Main things that I do record on this page are birthdays and holidays. Those are in purple. The focus accounts that I'm focusing on or giving the majority of my payments to, those are in red. Large amounts of money in and out, that's taxes and the insurance fund payments, and of course those pesky vehicle expenses, which are your car inspections, registration plate renewals, and IDs and driver license and renewals, those type of things. That's what I track on here. Another thing that I just learned earlier is my credit score is still going up. And again, after the meltdown from April, May, and June, I don't know how. Again, I wish I had the answer for this, but I don't. But yeah, it's still improving, guys. So at least I got that going for me. Let's see here. This is just my little generalized quick estimate for my holiday expenses. Basically, I started keeping this year so that next year I have a better idea of how much I need to put back for each of these events. These seem to be the major ones. that I believe I spend the most money on. So that's really all this is. It's nothing fancy. I do still have to fill it in for Independence Day. I never wrote in my snacks. I believe it's like 40 bucks or something, but I could write that in later. This 2 years at a glance page, the original Hemlock and Oak Daily from last year had this in it, and for some reason they removed it for this year. I'm not quite sure why, probably just, to reduce pages or something. But yeah, I found this page layout here to be really important to my budget planner, so I went ahead and printed it out for this year. And the way that I use this is the accounts that I'm paying on, it, which I am doing the snowball method, so they are from least to the largest amount due. Like Cap Q, when I was following my debt payoff plan from Stebit.com, also known as the Debt Payoff Planner app, I do have a link in the description. But when I was following the payment plan, my projected payoff date for the Capital Q card would have been in March, and we can see that by my weekly payments and the extra payments I was giving on it, I was able to have it paid off by the 18th of February. Chase was projected to be paid off by the end of June, but we can see that I am still plugging away at it. Just got a little behind, guys. But like I said, we have just had some like major malfunctions here in April, May, and June. But the whole trick to budgeting and paying off your debts is to just keep going. None of it's going to be perfect. There's always going to be a hiccup. I've been doing this for too many years now. There is always going to be something that happens. So instead of just putting a planner on the shelf and saying that you can't do it, you just keep going. These I'm not really going to. I'm not going to go into full detail about these. They are cute and colorful little coloring sheets, and that I am a visual person. Visualizing my payments or my savings, and that really does motivate me to pay more on my debts or to put more into my savings account. Hence why I added the little coloring sheets. But I don't know. I haven't really been using them. But if you are interested in these do come from debtfreecharts.com. They're made by Heidi Nash, and they are super cute and colorful. Let's see here. I just made this guy earlier. And I'm really hoping to have this thing paid off by the end of this year. I'm not projected to have it paid off until next year, but I got a feeling I'm going to be focusing on this one here pretty soon, because it's just annoying me. Annoying me is another motivator to get things done. So, okay, the one sheet that I am going to take the time out to discuss is Detris. This is round 2 of Detris. I've already did a round of Detris last year, and basically what I do here is I take all of my accounts, I list them in order from the smallest account to the largest account. Again, I'm doing the snowball method because it's supposed to help you gain motivation, because you're quickly paying the ones off, and then you're taking the minimums from those and adding them on, and then, paying it down again. Like I said, last year, guys, I rolled, okay? Last year, I believe I had like 6 accounts paid off by this time last year. Maybe like a low amount would have been 4, but I do believe that it might even be like 5. I was killing it, okay? I was literally getting an account paid off every month. This year, I am slow as a turtle. But hey, I'm still going. We're still trying. Another thing that I do is at the end of every month, I do total up how much I paid towards these debts. And then that way I know how many blocks in Detris I get to color in. And another thing that I did change this year is instead of waiting until the complete end of the month to color in the blocks. I've started coloring them in during the month, and then that way it kind of motivates it like motivates me to maybe put a little bit more on to purchase another block. I don't know, it kind of helps me with that because I mean I am an emotional spender, so it kind of helps with that too. Because when we're feeling down or when we're feeling up, uh we have this, at least I have this tendency to want to spend. So if I notice that, like, hey, if I just need $5 or $10 more and I can get another block, I will put that towards that debt account. So that's how I'm trying to motivate myself to pay this thing down a little bit quicker. But we can see these are definitely lower than what the earlier payments were. So I need to get back on to paying more per month. So that seems to be my biggest issue. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna make sure, I feel like that is my son texting me, so I am going to quickly check on that, or if not, my brain's gonna be wondering what he is talking about. So I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back on to discuss the monthly and the daily pages. Alrighty, of course it was him. He's gonna have to wait. But, yeah. Okay, let's see here. We were just getting into the monthly. So, one thing I do like to use in my budget planner is these little sticky notes here. Just because it does help you write things down, but you can easily move it month to month. These are the things that I have moved on to a new card that I got that helps me gain more gas points for the Giant Eagle gas program. So basically anything that I could streamline onto that card. Oh my god, Ray. Guys. Kids, whether they're in their 20s or not. Okay, so yeah, basically, I'm streamlining all of my bills, and then that way they're on auto pay, so I don't have to worry about late fees and that. But again, it's going onto that card, and then that way I can get the additional gas points, which is then going to help with the, payments for gas for the car. Just making sure that I got it hit on the record button. Yes, we do. Just complete chaos, guys. See, we went from being fine to just sheer chaos. Okay, so another thing that you can quickly notice here on this monthly page is that some of them are in red, some are in blue. What I like to do is the mandatory expenses. These are my fixed bills, like utilities, rent, phone, insurances. Basically anything that's typically due on the same day, typically the same amount every month, and that I'll get like a late fee or a charge if it's not paid by that time. I keep those all in one color, which for the month of July is red, and then anything that I consider optional or beneficial for my budgeting, I keep those in a separate color, so those are blue. Those would be my focus card payments, which I was doing $50 every Sunday. Those would have been like my extra payments for each card, so that would have gave me $200 at the least every month towards that focus account. And then of course the daily $5 a day savings goal, which I take out in 2 payments for each of my pay periods, so that's going to be $75 and $80 for the month of July. Let's see here. I also keep a no cards tracker. Which again, guys, I am not perfect. Not at all. I wish I was. And I know you may be slightly confused because you just heard me say that I moved all of my bills onto one of the credit cards. What I count as a no cards day is if I just use my debit card or cash, or if I use a credit card but I make that payment onto that credit card that day. So basically, I will allow myself to use a credit card, but only if I have the funds in my bank account to cover that transaction. That is still considered a no card stay to me because it's covered, it's paid. That is also only for the accounts where I know I have $0 balance, because then there's no way of getting interest on it. So we could see that I did make, there was 4 days so far that I used the cards. But let's divvy into these dailies here and see how and why that happened. So yeah, this first day is looking a little chaotic here, and we're just like, oh my god, what's happening? Again, it's like I said, like just bad things were happening, and I was just like, you know what, I'm over it. It was just getting a little crazy there, so I wanted to do a mid-year check-in, and it's just me basically saying, like, look, dude, you've gotten off track. It's time to refocus, and I still want to do the main goal of paying off the debt and getting rid of it for good, okay? Because I have a lot of credit cards on my list that I have paid off, and I'm telling you guys, I've paid out, like, CapQ, I can tell you, I paid the stupid thing off, 3 to 4 times now. I'll pay it off and have like a victory run and be like, yeah, it's paid off, and then like 3 months later I have the thing racked up. So it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, it's good that I paid it off, but like, you're not supposed to like redo it, okay? So that's where I really learned that it's not a money problem. I do have the ability to pay it off. My problem is a spending problem. And that's whenever I got into the whole thing of understanding that I do emotionally spend. Hence why I keep this little journal area in my budget planner. We've also added a new feature, which you may see the little smiley face down here. I did start using the YNAB app, program system, whatever you want to call it. It's the You Need a Budget system, and because I don't know, I was just Googling like things of like how to fix or correct emotional spending habits, and one of their blogs came up about how if you just simply keep little smiley faces by your purchases, it could tell you what type of mood you were in when you made that purchase, and then you could quickly scan back through them and just be like, oh, when I'm cranky, when I'm bored, when I'm happy, when I'm angry, you know, you just check the smiley face type thing. And if it's constantly showing up near a certain type of purchase, it gives you more insight into knowing that you make that type of purchase when you're in that mood, and you might be able to like delve a little deeper into why you gravitate towards that purchase. So that is one of the new features that I started this month. So yes, I did go to Burger King for lunch, and I was in a good mood. We had a good day at work. Let's see here. This is the other thing that was scaring me, is my balances here were not adding up with my PNC bank balance. Somewhere along the lines of this mess, I've missed $118, guys. I don't know if it was where I thought I was transferring money over. I'm really hoping that's what it was. I've tried going back through the purchases. I cannot find it for the life of me. So what I have written down, which is what's going through all of these transactions here, is I thought that I had 409. PNC is saying 291. All right, and that's kind of scary because again, that is a $118 difference. There are times that I can get this thing down below 50, and that was just getting too uncomfortable for me. But again, you do have to keep trucking along with bills. And then, of course, you know, that's whenever you get your annual gym fee on the same day, too. So I'm like, come on, dude. Um, okay, so I did get a no cards on this one. Could I have paid the car insurance on this day? Yes, I did still have the funds in the account, if you could see it in the pencil here, but it I was going to pay it. I was, but it's just not knowing what this actual balance here just made me really freaking nervous. So I was like, I'm holding off. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm just going to see what that balance is going to be. So that's how I ended up with a used cards day. Again, going into Tuesday, it's still bothering me because I don't even know what to write. I don't even know what to write as my start. Now I'm off by $72. It's not 118 now, it's 72, so it is slowly adjusting. But the thing that's scaring me is that I did start noticing this back on May 24th. I thought that it would just adjust itself out, but I mean, it was only like $30 then. Now it's 72. The day before this was 118, and again, I was digging through my whole entire account. I cannot figure out why or like how it's off by so much. So yeah, this would have been around the time of when I was like really researching up like different ways of budgeting and that, because like I can't have that. I cannot have not knowing what my start balance is, because then I don't know what to spend. Even if I have the money, I'm too terrified to make payments towards bills. Um, Again, I'm going into it and I'm just saying I'm confused. Okay, so to make it worse now, I went on to make my student loan payment, and I found out that my loans were put in forbearance. I really didn't know what that meant at the time. I made my payment anyways, just because it's like I don't really want a late charge on that. So I found out that it was put in administrative forbearance, so I didn't put it in forbearance. They put it in forbearance. Either which way, it ends in this month. And I even wrote down when the SAVE program ends. But either which way, they're made. The payment's made. And again, guys, I still couldn't tell you what my balance was, right? So I was like, you know what? This is when I found that you need a budget, and I kind of started getting into it. I was reading their tutorials and that. Um, but this is the day that I found that blog that I was telling you about, and I found out that boredom is my number one spending trigger in the summer. Um, Basically, I caught myself online browsing. 3 times this day. Okay, I was on the Kohl's website. I had over $200 worth of stuff in my shopping cart. Thankfully, I X'd out of it. Bath and Body Works again was $50 plus. Amazon was $100 plus. Basically, we could see what I'm saying of those sales, and yeah, if I would have just let myself do this, it could have been bad. It could have been very, very bad. So, these are my little boredom faces. They're not smileys. They're just miss. So we can see, yeah, I did go to Walmart. I got my snacks. There's 4th of July snacks. Of course, I had to pick up stuff for Bert. Made a trip to Sheetz. I did get a really good deal on a weight bench. It's something I have been wanting to purchase. So it was like 90 some dollars. I was able to use gift cards and a coupon that I had. So I did get that for $29. So that was actually a win for that day. But again, like I said, my my cart originally had $100 worth of stuff in it. And I had to go like, no, dude, no. And yeah, I did end up purchasing the great courses again. That's that Wonderium program. If you're a nerd like me and you love lectures, that is your program. So, but again, like I said, like it was just bored. I was just bored the whole day. So now I'm starting to see, like, if I'm bored, I am going to spend. So I gotta keep myself entertained, guys. But yeah, like, so this is whenever I got into the whole UNAB thing, and this is the day where I was like, you know what? I'm trying it. What do I got to lose? They give you a 30-day free trial, and I'm gonna check it out. And I mean, with the way that you've seen how my spending habits are, guys, it's gonna be pretty fast for me to see if this thing works or not. I've tried lots of them in the past. I've tried the Dave Ramsey's every dollar thing. That instantly failed. Um, I have been using this debit. I've been using that for years. That seems to be the best one for me. But again, that's only for credit cards. I want something a little bit more for each, like daily life, like your categories, like groceries, candles, like the things, clothing that you see me like spending money on that I shouldn't be. So I figured, you know what? I'm trying YNAB. I really have nothing to lose. And I just decided I'm just going to start fresh. I moved all of my stash funds that I have been putting back. I just moved them all over into my spending account, and that's gonna give me my balance moving forward. So that was my PNC. What the hell, fly? That's my PNC balance as of that day, and then, like I said, I moved my stash funds over. So now I actually have, a balance to go off of. Okay. And so here we go with Saturday, and this was my first official no spend day. That, like, I meant it. I meant it to be a no spend day, guys. So, like I said, I'm not quite sure how long the magic of the YNAB is going to be effective, but it seems to be curbing my need to overspend, just because, like, things, like, I would tell myself, like, oh man, get on Amazon and look at this, or like, one of the text messages or emails would pop up and be like, oh, we have a 40% off sale, blah blah blah. And all I had to do was look at my YNAB app, and it would show me, like, hey, red. It's red because they go by green, yellow, and red. Green means you have all the funds for that you want to spend. Yellow means you got some of them saved up, and red means, like, don't do it, dude, you don't got it. And of course, I didn't have any funds in it because, we only got 182 right now. So no, I really only have funds for gas, food, things like that. Sorry guys, I can tell my phone's going off. I know it's my kid again. 20-year-old son needs to find friends. But, yeah, no, so there was just, again, I told you I'm a visual person, so there's just something about seeing that in red, and it just tells me, like, no, don't do it, and I'm instantly, like, I instantly don't even think about it. But, I mean, this is only day 2, so, like, how long's the magic of this app gonna last? And I really got to see how it felt on Sunday, and I messed around with it some more. I watched a little bit more tutorials, got to learn about how you're supposed to, like, try to get all your funds so that you have enough funds for next month's bills. That's, like, the whole goal of it, is to see how long you can make your money stretch. And to me, even by day 3, I felt like I was making more thought out purchases. And I did feel more confident when I did go to the store to make a purchase, because I could clearly see that I had the funds in my account. 1, I knew what my total was, and 2, I knew that those funds that were in my account were for those purchases. So it's one thing to say, hey, I got 162 in my account, but it's another thing to be able to look at it and say, yeah, I got 162 in my account, but I know that I got $14 set aside to cover the cost of that food. That $14 isn't supposed to be for my water bill in like a week or 2. Like, I can clearly see it on there. And in the next video, like, I'm waiting until I get more added onto the app so I can start showing you, like, what it looks like when more of it goes on. Come on, fruit flies. So yeah, like I said, like, we can even see, like, I got more smiles. I'm not bored. This is the first time I was actually able to pay for my collagen with the funds from my actual bank account instead of relying on a credit card. So that was kind of cool. Paid for my teas with cash, covered Bert's food. So it's I don't know, 3 days in for this week, it's already making a difference. I can even kind of give you a preview of next week, guys, because like I said, I am still like filming a week behind here. um it's going well. It's actually going well. I feel calmer. There is less anxiety, and I don't know. It's just it's different. But like I said, I'm still here because I'm a little anxious of like, when's the magic gonna wear off? I kind of hope it don't. But I think that's a good place to end. We can see that like I'm still not in the best of place, guys, but it is actually getting better. So that's kind of cool. Um, but like I said, I can't wait to show you next week to see where we're going. And again, I almost forgot to share this too. um, I am skipping the focus payments. Those are the additional payments onto those cards right now, just because I'm curious to see if what I bring in with my income is enough to cover those additional payments. If I just do like quick math, yes, it does add up, but with the math that I'd be doing is I'm only adding up the cost of my bills, and the credit card payments plus the additional payments. I'm not including how much I spend on gas, groceries, clothing, car maintenance, that type of stuff. So that's what YNAB's going to give me insight into. So I'm kind of wondering if that's what's causing the little tornado here. Maybe I'm just trying to push out too much money per month. Of course, at the end of the month, that's when I'm gonna know for sure if that's what's happening. But I guess we will just have to find out next week what's going on, right? So, again, guys, I'm gonna close out for real this time. And again, thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe button to see next week's budget review.